I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com. Follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, that's right. Welcome to episode 87 of Wise Advice, and always an honor to hang out with you here. And a little early tonight for the live show. For those of you who are here on the East Coast, welcome. A lot of new people popping in saying it's the first time I've caught you live, which is very, very cool. As you know, I put the video, leave it on Facebook, of course, but then throw it over on YouTube for those of you who aren't up late at night like we are. Certainly the West Coast folks get a treat because this is the evening hour for them. But even there now, it's a little early for them. But welcome, everyone, here. We're going to open up real quick with Brittany. Brittany writes in and says, "Hey, Dag, I've been following you on Connect for a long time and just recently started listening to your podcast. I love it. I need your help, though. I need to get my act together. I've been on Weight Watchers for about a year and 7 months, 5 booklets, and 48.8 pounds. Now, I know you're going to say congrats, that 48 pounds doesn't just come off, but I was so motivated and into Weight Watchers when I started. I lost 20 pounds in my first booklet, then 12.8 in the second, 5.8 the next 2. I'm ending my 5th booklet with 3 pounds. Maybe that seems acceptable, but it's not for me because I know I can do better. I am so stubborn, I don't let people walk on me. I try to be a good person, I make goals, and I exceed my own expectations in pursuits of freelance illustration. No matter how stressful or hard work that road is, I make the trek, and I survive. Why can't I do this with Weight Watchers? Am I complacent? Am I too stubborn? Of course, I have a number in my head, a number I've never ever seen before. I started because a photo made the most proud moment of my life, graduating from college, into a sad, self-loathing, depressed moment. I walked right into Weight Watchers the day after Christmas and I signed up. For me, my whys are simple. Sort of vain and actually honest. It's not for health. It's not to be a good role model for my kids. I want to be damn good looking. No matter what I wear, I don't want to worry about how a garment makes me feel. I don't ever want to be called hurtful names by anyone ever again. Success is the best revenge after all. And most importantly, I don't want my weight to hold me back in my endeavors, whether it's bosses that don't take me seriously or adventures that I want to take in life. But I am struggling. I've been struggling since last summer. It's been a year since. Have I been complacent this whole time? I feel so motivated after my meetings each week, but things just beat me down and I don't feel strong anymore. I track as honest as I can now. I really wasn't before. I weigh and I measure like no one's business, and I try to eat well, and I try and plan for bad things too. But my head is not right. How do I break this? I know I can do this, but it's like a big wall of ice I can't climb up because it's just too slick. What am I doing wrong here? What do I need to do to be better, stronger, and to reach my goals? Because I can in other facets of my life, but why not with Weight Watchers? I feel helpless, and I don't know where to go from here. Anyway, thanks for the podcast, and sorry this is so long. Brittany. Well, Brittany, I love your motivation, and I want to talk about that for a second. So I'm perfectly content with that as your why. The fact that you want to look damn good wearing whatever you want to wear and not worrying about it, that is significant motivation. And, and I'll be honest with you, I would be lying if I said I didn't feel that same way. It wasn't my goal initially. I didn't have any of that desire. That didn't fuel me to get to my goal. But now that I got to my goal, I understand what it is you're chasing. I like the way I look. I like the way I feel. I'm not giving it back. So if that is your motivation, I can tell you when you solve that, you're going to love it. You're absolutely going to rub it. And I will tell you right now, 48.8 pounds is an amazing accomplishment. You don't lose 48.8 pounds on accident. You do it with focus and determination. And I do completely understand that as you look at your numbers, you would like them to be consistent across the board. Now, I agree with that. I agree that as the numbers that you presented, it does show an indication that maybe as you're working the plan, you do become a little complacent. 48.8 pounds is significant. 48.8 pounds absolutely looks a lot different on you, for sure. So you do start feeling better. You do start looking good. But here's where I want to discuss something with you. The things that you're doing in life, you sent me a piece of your artwork as a freelance illustrator. If you gave me the option to lose 91 pounds again, or to have a career, make a career as a freelance illustrator, I would pick losing 91 pounds again. Being a freelance illustrator is hard work. You don't just pop up and wake up and just start drawing and make a career out of that. So you clearly have the ability to do whatever you set your mind to. We need to figure out what we need to do to get your mind to say, you know what, I want to push a little further. The goals that I set for myself, I can reach. I want to get there. It is absolutely sad but true that your bosses will treat you different. They will, people don't take you as seriously as we think they should, just if we're overweight. I don't agree with that by one bit, but I've experienced it. I know it exists, and I know that in some cases people are held back or limited by that perception if we're overweight. So if that is true in some extent, use that to say, you know what, I don't ever want to be in that situation. That photo took the proudest moment of your life. For the rest of your life, you're going to have that photo. And what I want you to do, you will be proud of that moment again the day you reach goal. When you reach goal, you will come in and say, you know what, this is how I look. This is what started this journey. This is a before photo is significantly better when you have an after photo at a true goal weight. Now you have the ability to get it done. You are obviously in a complacency trap. I want you to just dig deep. I want you to start focusing. I want you to track a couple words that you used in your email. Really let me know where you're at. You used the words hope. You used the word try. This isn't about hope. Hope is not a plan. I've said that. Hope is not a plan. The plan is you got to track everything you eat. Trying is as much as we want to reward that term, this isn't about trying. This is about doing. If you want it, it's there for yours to be taken, but you got to go get it. You can't hope that it happens. You can't try to get it. You got to go up, wake up every morning deliberately focused on your goal, just like you do with your illustration career, and go get it done. Brittany, you can do this. I know you can. I've seen it done many times, and I want you to experience it as well. Stacee writes in and says, "Hi, FatDag. I just want to thank you for your podcast. I started Weight Watchers for the third time 3 months ago, and I discovered you right away. This time is different because I'm not setting any timeline goal, but daily goals to do what I need to do to succeed as you recommend. My mindset is totally different, and I know you keep talking about the whys, which are usually to be healthy and to be around for your family. Even though I've been overweight, 192 pounds, but I'm only 5'2", every time I go to the doctor, they tell me I'm perfectly healthy, and they have never once mentioned that I should lose weight, which clearly I should. I work out a lot, so I didn't have any issues with lack of energy or being able to play with my kids, although wearing a bathing suit was a bit scary. I'm physically strong. I love exercise, so I'm trying to figure out my why. I think it's so my outside looks like my inside feels strong and fit. It really seems pretty shallow, but I hope it's enough to keep me on track. This past week was really hard on me, and after posting on Connect and getting such amazing support, I posted a photo from 3 months ago, and yesterday I was only down about 12 pounds, but I went down 2 sizes in clothes, and the side-by-side really showed a big difference. I know you're a really busy guy, but if you want to see the photos, I am Blake20071 on Connect. Thanks again for what you do. It is such a great addition to the other tools, and before I run, I take the dogs for a walk, and I listen to your podcast, which keeps me focused. Stacee." Well, Stacee, A couple things here, right? Good deal on absolutely setting a timeline goal, or sorry, not setting a timeline goal, but just setting a goal of attendance, setting a goal saying, hey, I just want to follow the program. If I follow the program and I completely change my life, at this point, especially in my scenario, right? No one ever asked me, I don't care how long it took at this point. I'm here. I don't look back and say, man, I wish I would have done it a week sooner. No, I don't say, and if it would have taken a week longer, then that's okay. Or whatever the timeline would have been. The timeline didn't matter. The destination mattered. And you're on focus and on track to get to the destination. You said you're only down 12 pounds. When's the last time you lost 12 pounds on accident? When's the last time from one period of time to the next you woke up and you said, oh my God, I lost 12 pounds? It doesn't happen. We don't accidentally lose weight. We lose weight because we're focused on our goals. We're disciplined. We're getting it done. So you're doing great there. Now, let's talk about your visit to your doctor. It's not much different, even though the doctors have a different obligation to us than our friends and family do. But look at your friends and families, right? One of the questions I asked when I finally made goal, I was finally happy with myself. And at that moment, I was able to look back at some photos and really understand what I was living like, really understand what I went through, and really understand what I now have in store for me for the rest of my life. I really, really did take some time to think about that. And the question that I asked my wife specifically, I'm like, why didn't you tell me? I said, look at me. I was huge. I looked terrible. I was out of shape. Man, I was probably close to dying. Why didn't you say something? And she says, well, Mike, I thought you knew. So it's not much different than your doctor, right? When you walk into the doctor at 5'2", 192, the doctor knows what you know. And you said clearly you should lose weight. So for them to just re-emphasize something you already know, they run, and again, doctors, I love that profession because those guys and gals truly, dedicate their lives to taking care of us. But they have a delicate conversation. They see you for just a handful of minutes, and they're trying to earn your trust so that you can follow the guidance that they give them. And if they started every single conversation with you're overweight, why don't you lose some weight? It wouldn't be long before you shut down and started looking for another doc. And you know that, and they know that. So rather than them bringing up the obvious, they try and treat the rest of what's going on with you. And if the weight becomes the number one reason or the easiest thing to treat for whatever ailment you have, it certainly does pop up in the conversation. But I assure you at this point, your doctor knew what was going on, right? And you knew what was going on. So that is where they're at. So don't mistake the fact that they don't tell you as not, that it's not true, which you even know, again, like you said, that it is. So that is my advice on that piece. Now, again, framing the conversation, you're only down 12 pounds. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see that. What I want you to do is I want you to celebrate the fact that you tracked, that you woke up disciplined, you woke up dedicated. Every single morning you focus, you take the dog for a walk, you're tuned in to the podcast every single day. You're staying focused, you're staying on plan, and you will continue to get this done. You're absolutely right. I'm busy on Connect, but I will, when I conclude this show tonight, I will go on Connect. I'll search you out. I'll leave you a comment of motivation and inspiration, and I want you to know that more than anything, you have the ability to get this done. You do. Go get it done, Stacee. Next up is GM. GM writes in and says, hello, Mike. I just started tuning into your show on YouTube. I've listened to a few shows and I thought I'd share a concern. I've been working the SmartPoint program now since March of 2017. After a few years of staunch anti-dieting and blowing up over 278 pounds, I turned to Weight Watchers and my health app to help me tune into what my body needed. I felt my body going haywire, and I just thought that if I learned to fuel myself properly, then maybe this continuous weight gain will stop. I talked to a family member practicing SmartPoints who explained the current program. I joined, and I've been seeing positive body changes ever since. I'm married to a man who has a heart disease, diabetes, and COPD. He's also significantly overweight and his weight makes it increasingly difficult for him to breathe. I feel confident that if he makes some of the same changes I'm making, he will gain energy. It will help with his diabetes, his heart disease, and very much so with his breathing. He sees the changes in me, but he's not willing to even try. I've had a couple of talks with him, but to no avail. I know the choice has to be his. I can lead him to water, but I can't make him drink. I want to shout to the world the difference this can make in a person's life, but I can't even make my husband see it. It makes me so sad to see him with little energy. He seems to wane as his seems to wane as mine increases, and I fear for his life. Do you have any suggestions? I'm an online-only subscriber. It works for me. Best GM. Yeah, I understand where you're at. That's again, one of the most common emails I get is, how do I get my husband, wife, kids, brother, daughter, how do I get them on board? And you answered your own question. You know the answer to that. How did you get on board? You finally figured out that you wanted to make the decision to do it. Nothing you can say to them will do it. It's not much different than the conversation we just had. If your doctor started every single conversation off with, hey, you're overweight, why don't you lose some weight? You would tune them out if you didn't want to hear it. You would change doctors specifically so, because you would say, every time I go see him, he tells me to lose weight. And you would find a new doctor because of it. So it's that delicate balance that we all have to figure out. How do you tell your best friend, hey, you need to lose some weight? Even your best friend is not a conversation we have. Our society does not allow that as an open, friendly conversation. It's an attack every time we hear it and when we don't want to hear it. So that's what we have to balance with. You have to do the things that you can do. What you have to do is find a way to work the plan for yourself. And so what is probably going on, and it's just a complete guess on my end, but what's probably going on is this may not be your first attempt at doing this. And so you said at one point you're 278. So obviously, for a portion of your life, you've been overweight. You're now making the changes. My guess is that you've attempted these changes in the past. And so right now what he's seeing is this is another attempt for you to get your weight and health under control. What I can tell you is I lived that journey as well. This is my fifth specific time in the meeting room. I've tried more than that outside the meeting room. And so the same thing happened to me. People didn't believe that I was serious this time. It was just one more attempt, so much so that I didn't really tell too many people that I was doing this. I just kind of did it because even again, I didn't even believe in myself. So what happens is as I finally made some significant changes, when I made some significant progress, people finally started noticing. And what I can tell you now is since I made it to goal, I get all kinds of friends and family now who are interested in the journey who weren't interested as I was losing weight. So the best way you can get him on board at this point is to allow him to come to the realization on his own, but he needs to see you hit your goal weight. He needs to see what you at goal looks like. He needs to see what you at goal feels like, so that you then start modeling that good behavior, and that is what's going to get his attention. So now let me share one other tidbit with you, right? And so my family has been entirely healthy, other than me, and so I've been overweight. My wife has been at a healthy weight her entire life. My daughter's been at a healthy weight her entire life. She's an athlete, so there's no concern there. But I've noticed just since I finally hit goal, the eating habits in our household have completely changed. And so it's just because of that modeling that good behavior. The habits for them weren't bad in the first place, but I did notice a change in them afterwards. So that's, again, more testament to what you have to do when you reach your goal weight. So the number one way you can convince somebody else to do this is not by telling them, it's by showing them, and it's not by showing them you're working it, it's by showing them that you did it. It's by showing them that not only did you do it, you maintained it, and you're enjoying the benefits of it. People don't want to walk the journey. People want the finish line. People want the end result success. So they don't want to walk with you. They want to see it done. And when you get it done, that's when they believe. That's when they say, I can do this too. And that's when they get started. So that is what you need to focus on. You got to focus on you. You got to get to goal. And when you get there, he'll come on board. Thanks for your email. Ingrid writes in and says, hi, FatDag. I had Weight Watchers today and I weighed in. And with Weight Watchers, I'm down 37.2 pounds since March 20th. And a total of me since September 15th, I'm down 102.6 pounds. It brought tears to me in the meeting. I just love all the important tools that are out there and that aid in my weight loss, you being number one. You really make my day and refocus me daily to keep on this exciting weight loss journey. I was not going to hit 100 pounds this week if it killed me. I worked out hard yesterday morning with weights and bike, elliptical, and a treadmill. Then at night, I went back to the gym and I did another 1.5 hours again. Then this morning, I got up at 5 a.m. and put in another 2 hours. Crazy? Yes. But no way was I not going to hit the 100-pound mark today. The more I lose, the more motivated I get. Connect is also a lifesaver, which I look at every single night before I go to bed, as well as every morning. If I'm having a bad day, I look at it midday. Boy, looking at others' accomplishments is so inspiring. I cannot thank you enough for being out there as an amazing wingman for so many. I agree with you. Once I figured out my why and the daily focus as well as my attendance for moving, it really just spit-shined the Weight Watcher program for me. I just wanted to let you know that I am killing it here in Jacksonville, Florida, and tell everybody about your app. Here's to good health and a happy, healthy lifestyle ahead. I am head over heels excited for my accomplishments to date. Ingrid, 102.6 pounds is absolutely incredible. What I'm really impressed with is the fact that you did most of it pre-Weight Watchers. You've now figured out the Weight Watcher piece now, and I think that'll help you significantly to continue to solidify and maintain your weight loss and continue keeping it going. But one of the things that I think is the coolest thing about this is, I agree with you. What you did to get there was absolutely crazy. It's not even something that I would recommend. I wouldn't tell someone, hey, if you're a couple pounds from 100, go spend 7 hours in a gym. It's not advice I would give. However, it's what I did as well. Not to that extreme, but as I got closer to my goal, my motivation for wanting to hit it increased. If you go to fatdag.com and you click on my weight loss entry, you will see my weigh-ins from every single weight entry as I worked the plan. You'll see my daily weight as well, but you'll see my sticker from every single Weight Watcher meeting. In the last 2 weigh-ins, before I hit goal, I lost 10 pounds. I think I don't have them in front of me. One was 4 pounds, one was 5 pounds. But the 2 weeks leading up to goal were 4 and 5 pound losses. That's when I didn't think I had any to lose at that point. And I lost them in that week. So what I did was exactly what you did. The closer that I got to goal, the more that I wanted it. I wanted it more than anything. And I fought so hard to get there, just exactly like you did. You didn't get up and do all that exercise for nothing. You were fighting very hard because you knew what the goal was. The goal for you was to hit that 100-pound mark. Now, it doesn't say in your email where you are in your journey, but if you have more to lose, that's the fire you need to do to keep going. So we fight and we fight and we fight to get going. And if that's the number one thing I want to share is that's why I am a firm believer that the weight loss journey has a finish line. You know, I know there are other opinions on whether or not there is or isn't, and I don't care about that. What I care about is for my journey, I needed to know there was a finish line because that is what made me run harder and fight harder and make sure that I got it done. What I didn't want to do was just kind of accidentally walk into this because it's just not the same for me. I didn't want to just kind of keep tracking a little bit and then one day go, I guess that's goal. No, I wanted to know for sure what it felt like to cross that line, to be done, and that fight was absolutely worth it. I would do that fight all over again to get the feeling that I had the day that I stepped on a scale for the very last time in a weight loss mode. I can't describe that any better than I've tried over the last couple of weeks to kind of describe to you what that feeling is. And that feeling is so great that in a sense, I would love to have an opportunity to feel it again. Knowing what it feels like now, I would like to kind of take it in a little differently. I was so overwhelmed with emotion when I did it that a lot of it just kind of happened, and I didn't really, fully get tuned into it. But I understand that I'm not giving it back. And so that's what we're fighting for. So Ingrid, congratulations on your 102.6 pounds down. That's incredible work. And so the daily focus, the daily reminder, something keeping you on the plan is what got it done. It's one of the reasons I've developed that email newsletter. If you go to FatDag.com, click on the very bottom, you'll see an email newsletter. I want you to stay focused. My wingman emailed me often to remind me to stay on the plan. My email newsletter is nothing more than that for you. It's every 2 or 3 weeks I send out an email to you, and it just kind of reminds you that you're in this. I try and post on Connect every single day so that you can be reminded that, oh, that's right, he's doing it, I can do it. And we're doing it together. And when we do it together, we have a bunch of reasons to celebrate. Absolutely need to celebrate. We need to hit finish lines. We need to know what a goal is. If I asked you to sign up for a road race and hey guys, let's go out for a road race. One of the first questions you would ask me is, you'd ask me 2 questions. One is, how far are we running? And the next question is, how fast are we running? No matter what, you would ask me those 2 questions. So in your weight loss journey, we would say, you need to know what the goal is. The goal is to get to your weight loss journey. Call that your finish line. It doesn't mean you're done with the program at all. It means you're done with that version of your life and you begin your new life in a celebration mode, a celebration of life, celebrating all of your accomplishments and everything that you can do. It's an amazing feeling and you have the ability to get there. I want to know what it is you're celebrating. Let's share it on the air. Let's go to fatdag.com. Let's click on listen now. Send in those celebrations. Send in your comments. This entire show, if you've listened to at least 1 or 2 now, you'll understand that the entire show is we are better together and we share your stories with the community. So send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll work them in as part of the show. I want you to be proud of what you're doing. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus.